Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jonah from Discover, and today we are going to be talking to Jourdan Guyton. Jourdan, how are you doing?
I am freaking fantastic. How are you?
So good. I'm freaking fantastic too.
Oh,
Everything is going swimmingly and delighted to be here.
good.
Uh, for everyone watching, before we get going, please hop in the comments. Let us know if you can see us and hear us okay. We want to make sure the audio and video is all working right. And feel free to pop in the comments at any time. Let us know maybe where you heard about Discover, where you heard about Jourdan, something you're excited to learn, something you have learned during the event. Also, feel free to ask any questions while we're going. We're gonna have a proper Q&A at the end, so if we don't answer your question while we're going, know that we're gonna try and get to it at the end. And when we get to the Q&A, if it seems like we lost your question in the comments, please pop it in again. We don't want to miss any of those comments. And also, if presentation is going fast, I know Jourdan has a lot to share with us today. If you get up from the computer or you have to run or something, don't fret. All of this will be available in a replay. It'll be on this YouTube page. It'll be on the event page from Discover. It'll also be emailed to you if you RSVP'd to the event. So, proper introduction. Like I said, we are talking to Jourdan Guyton, and the event today is Social Media That Sells, how to create profitable content. We're going to learn how to create profitable content without posting every day or needing a fancy setup. And Jourdan is going to show us how being unapologetically you sells. Little background on Jourdan. Jourdan is a content strategist and coach living in Brooklyn, New York, with over 10 years of experience in the entertainment industry. Her love of content is indescribable. In 2019, Jourdan sold a comedic web series she co-created to Bet and jumped all the way into content creation. Fast forward to when the pandemic hit in 2020, Jourdan was forced to pivot and created her own business from scratch. Jourdan began teaching other female entrepreneurs her strategy for audience growth and increased revenue. Less than 1 year later, Jourdan has generated over six figures for the business and has grown her Instagram audience to over 40,000 people, amazing humans. Jourdan, I don't want to take up any more time here, so I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, thanks, Jonah. I am super,
Yeah,
super excited. I need you with me for all of this.
I'll be here.
Yeah,
I'll be here.
this is good. I'm super excited. It's a little light in the chat, so I'm a chatty person. So if y'all are excited, drop a one in the chat. We'll get these slides up here and we will get going. I want to feel the energy, Jonah. I want to make sure that people are with me, right?
Yeah.
And then let me get these slides going too. So let me go back one. Perfect. Awesome. Let's do it. So welcome. Okay, Kim, I see you. Welcome to Social Media That Sells. My name is Jourdan Guyton. And so let's go ahead and get a roll call. Like I said, I'm a very active, chatty, let me hear where you at kind of person. So show of hands, Teachable. I'm excited to be here. Show of hands if this is you. Drop one in the chat if you are a business owner, a coach, a creator, a consultant, a service provider. Thank you. All the above. Show a hand if you are an expert, all the things, because this presentation is 1000% for you. So maybe you've been asking yourself, how do I grow my Instagram audience? How can I be identified as the expert in my niche? What is the secret from turning my followers into customers because likes don't pay the bills? Okay. How do I erase overwhelm that social media is causing me? Or flat out, I've heard this millions of times, does the algorithm hate me? No, y'all, it doesn't hate you. Okay. So why this is important to you right now, maybe you don't have a content strategy. You just kind of post because, that's what you got to do for your business. Maybe you have amazing services to offer, but nobody knows what you do, who you are, none of the above. It's quiet over here. Maybe you're ready to finally take action and invest in your social media capital so that you can monetize your gifts and your talents. Drop a yes in the chat if I'm speaking to you, if this is you, if you're on board with me. So just imagine, walk down imagine lane if you want to close your eyes, but don't. And imagine with me. But imagine if you had a solid content strategy that aligned with your business, that's focused on creating high quality content to attract your dream clients, right? I'm imagining this is feeling good, right? Maybe you've found the confidence to show up online, right? And you want to show up online for your audience consistently, right? And now you're starting to cultivate a community around your business. Ooh, This imagining is feeling good. Maybe last but not least, your audience has shifted, right, from just being your followers into engaging customers because your content created a need for the service you provide. This is feeling good, y'all. So this is my true testimony, right? Last year, I started my business and I was sitting pretty at about 6,000 followers, a little light work, right? And I really took my content seriously. And I actually took this screenshot today. And it is mind blowing that I've grown to over 55,000 followers organically on social, right? This is my truth, right? When I had my little business last year, I was reaching about 3,000 people, 4,000, which is good. But now my reach is over 2 million, right? This is my truth. This is my story. Back in the day, I was getting a lot of DMs like, hey, yo, ma, what's good? Those were my DMs. It was annoying. It was 52% men. And when I look at my audience today, it's who I serve and it's women. And I'm 81% focused in my audience as a female audience. So super excited. This is my story and I'm excited to dive in with you. And today I'm teaching other women how. If you could get hyped with those results, drop a 1 in the chat. That growth, that truth, that testimony, all the above. So I'm going to show you a little bit more into my story. So the purpose of this masterclass is to teach you a few things, right? So I'm going to drop some gems on how to use social media as a free tool for your business. So free 99. I'm going to walk you through a new way to create Instagram content for your business with ease, right? And I'm going to explain how we can work together to get your social media presence on point to grow your audience authority and increase your income, right? So who is this energized ball of energy, an energized ball of energy on the other side of your screen, right? I've had 2 cups of coffee and I'm mad excited, right? So my name's Jourdan. I've been immersed in content and marketing for over a decade as my business journey first began in corporate. So I started at the Maury Show. So all the you are not the father, baby mama drama, that's me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you know Maury, not personally, but you know you are not the father. That was my life for a good 3 years, right? And I decided to take some time and hop in front of the camera and create some of my own content. And in 2019, I sold my web series that I co-created with a friend of mine to BET. So content, again. So I've been immersed in this world since I stepped out of college. And I've had fun doing it all, but I've had my fair share of experiencing perfectionism and imposter syndrome, right? So today I'm going to pull back the curtain of my roller coaster journey. You got me looking like Toni Braxton because that's how I feel in this entrepreneurial life. It is not easy for your girl out here. And I don't want Instagram to make you think that it is, because it's not, okay? So this is me selling my show to BET, on top of the world. I already started dreaming about my next idea. This was my boyfriend at the time. I promoted him to husband. He cute or whatever. So that's us. And I was ready to become the Issa Rae of 2020, right? I was within Business Insider, Verizon Media, all the above. I was excited, but then the pandemic hit. And for all of us, we were faced to stare at 4 walls for a long time and kind of reflect and think. And all of production shut down for me. And I found myself collecting unemployment. And I couldn't sit around for too long collecting, just because I'm such a busy person and I've always felt that entrepreneurial pull to me. So I launched my business, Virgin Media, and it's named after my grandma. She was my biggest fan, and my focus was helping small business owners create conversion-worthy content. So got my little Rent the Runway dress on, had me a little fake photo shoot, and I announced to Instagram like, hey, here's my business. Super nervous, but again, content. I needed to let people know what I was doing, what pivot I was making, right? And so I began working with one-on-one clients, doing done-for-you content, content strategy, hashtag research, all the above. And after 6 months, I decided, I was growing and I wanted to try group coaching. This is my tiny little office in my old apartment in New York City in the corner. If y'all are from New York, you understand there's minimal space that one can work with. And this was my little office. And so I launched my group coaching program and 1 student joined. And that's what I looked like him. It was Titus. And I was like, ma'am, has this ever happened to y'all? Drop 1 in the chat where you think, that you got this hot new launch offer coming and then you put it out there and it's crickets for you, right? It was crickets for me. And this student had been following me for a few months on Instagram. So I had built that connection, right? So we create, we connect, and we convert, right? So she was connected to me. And so After that, I was like, if one person's going to buy from Instagram, if one person can enroll because of my content, let me take my content a bit more seriously. So I got clear on my intention. I started creating effective content. I started going live consistently, even though my armpits sweat every time I press record because I was so nervous, all right? I documented my process, and I actually enjoyed creating again. Drop a yes in the chat if you want to have fun creating content for your business. I think a lot of times it gets overwhelming, or we overthink it, or we have to, it has to be perfect, or we got to do all the dances, all the above. Exactly. So I had fun again. And so when I realized that there was more where that came from, I started to double down, right? Take my content seriously, began nurturing and engaging with my current audience. But not just that, I became focused on getting that one student, that one person who I was petrified to tell this woman that she was alone in my group coaching program. Think about that, right? And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I was like, what? Okay, let's do this. And she started at 83 followers. And after my program, she walked away with several streams of income and over 17,000 followers. So she's killing it. I launched again after that. It was one student, and I launched again, and it was 8 students, and I kept launching, right? And in August, I had a sold out launch of 20 students, and my growth in my audience was over 30,000 in less than 6 months, right? Because I got consistent. So not just that, I gave myself permission to be unapologetically me on social. That is the game changer, and we're gonna talk about that. So how did I go from unemployment, where my hair is just tangled, wrangled, I look disheveled, all the above, sitting at my little chair, you understand? Ooh, who is that girl? To 6-figure CEO and over 55K in my audience, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're ready to learn about how, like, unemployed, like Uncle CEO, to 6-figure CEO, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're ready. So this is the time to get your notes out. This is the profitable content framework, right? So it's based on my 3 C's: clarity, content, and consistency. And I'm going to take you through these 3 C's. So secret number 1 is how to create an endless amount of content ideas, even when you don't know what to post, right? That's what we say all the time. I don't know what to post. I don't know what my audience is going to like. No. I hear it all the time, right? It's not fun. Second secret is how to close more clients simply by being yourself, because being authentically you is enough. Nina says she just needs to get out of her own head and stop doubting herself. Exactly. That's secret number 2. Secret number 3 is how to get consistent with your content without having to post multiple times a day. Because y'all, that's not my ministry. I ain't got time to post 3 or 4 times a day. It's not in me. So I'm going to teach you how you don't have to either. So ready to head where the money resides, because I'm about ready to take a stroll over there, right? So secret number 1, how to create endless amount of content ideas even when you don't know what to post. Most people think, like I said, I don't know what to post or what my audience will like. But when you start to think that, you post content just to post it. So you leave your audience confused about your offers and your expertise, right? You have an endless amount of content inspiration at your fingertips. It's up to you to show what you know and gain clarity on what your audience wants to see. I'm going to say that again because it's easier than you think. It's up to you to show what you know and gain clarity on what your audience wants to see. And Nina, yes, I'm taking you where the money resides. Let's go, right? The secret is you can create engaging content that sells if you get clear on your content delivery. That's the secret. And I'm going to teach you how, right? First, we're going to start with this mindset shift. Instead of thinking, I don't know what kind of content to post, it becomes, I am the expert at X. I'm going to teach my audience step by step. Drop in the chat what you are the expert in, or what you have expertise or knowledge or life experience. It's not just about the degrees on a thermometer, y'all. It's about your life experience as well. What are you the expert in? Drop that in the chat. I'm an expert at content, right? I'm slowly starting to become an entrepreneurial expert. Not quite yet, but I'm working my way up there, right? So what are you the expert in? The second thing is, instead of, I have no idea what type of content my audience wants to see, it becomes, I'm gonna poll my audience, right? And ask them, what do you want to learn more about, right? So you're doing the work. You see the difference? Instead of saying, I'm not sure what content gets engagement, it becomes, I'm simply going to get clear on my content ideas and post valuable content. because you won't know what kind of content gets engagement if you're not posting, y'all. So Andrea is an expert at writing and publishing books. Nina is accounting, taxes, life insurance, poetry, grammar. Ooh, you all the things. Amazing. So let's take a look at some actual content inspo I created, right? I got in touch with my audience. I said, do you need help creating reels that A, grow your audience, or B, sell your services, right? And so I got feedback from them of what they wanted to see. So best believe my next piece of content was creating reels to grow your audience. And then a little bit later, because it was such a close call, I did creating reels to sell your services, right? So this is my EAT method. This is, you can take a screenshot of this, you can write it down, you can do whatever makes your heart happy. But this is the EAT method to help you start to get an endless amount of content ideas for your business, right? The E stands for expert, right? Thinking about, what do I teach, right? What am I the expert in? What are my methods? For example, mine is the profitable content framework, the 3 C's. What is my expertise, right? What are you the expert in? Where have you gotten your clients' results? And start to think about creating content based on that, right? The A in the EAT method is audience, right? So what are the frequently asked questions you get in your DMs, right? What are the questions people are commenting on your content, right? Those are frequently asked questions. Even those that email you, turn that into a piece of content. Polls, like you just saw in the previous slide, and clear call to actions, asking your audience over and over, do you want to see more of this? What do you want to see more of? Stress or anxiety? What's more helpful? Love or money? Money, no, I'm just kidding. I'll take both. But really asking them in those call to actions. And then last but not least in the EAT method is your T, trending, right? What myths can you bust? What resources can you share, right? What books are you reading? What podcasts are you listening to? What got you from point A to point B in your business, right? And then touching on today's trends, what people are doing. Like in my industry, reels are the thing. And I'm really heavily talking about that in my content for sure, along with going live. So do y'all notice anything from the EAT method? You can create this tomorrow, literally tomorrow, or today, it's still a little early. It's a step in the direction of like, know, trust with your audience to nurture them until they're ready to buy. Create, connect, convert, right? So create your EAT content. Here's another example. So one of the most powerful pieces of content I created was from an FAQ, or frequently asked question, from a content on an Instagram reel I created. So I was saying how I built a 6-figure business in under a year. And you see me pointing up top to asking for the sale. And I started getting all these comments about, what do you mean ask for the sale? Can someone ask, what is ask for the, what is, I don't understand. And I was like, oh, y'all don't know that? And a lot of times you might think people get it or they know, and you have to explain it to them. So what I did was I created a live video. I did a whole live, and you can see the title right there at the bottom. Are you asking for the sale? I did this using the EAT method. No bells, no whistles, no fluff. I didn't have to think about nothing. Y'all just asked me questions. So I created another piece of content, just further clarification from an ideal client. So do you see how simple creating new ideas can be using the EAT method? Put a yes in the comments if you do, because at the end of the day, everything you need is already within you. You already have it. So let's recap really quick before we move on to secret number 2. Here's our profitable content framework. We dove into clarity, right? So the C in clarity. We're going to head over to content in a second. And we're talking about how I built a 6-figure business online in less than a year by creating profitable content. And I created the content my ideal clients wanted to see using the EAT method, right? So here's the EAT method. Hope you took a screenshot. Here's some EAT content that I talked about. And I want you to look at this gem, because you have an endless amount of content inspiration at your fingertips. So before you was like, I don't know what to post. Now you know what to post, right? So secret number 1, we talked about using the EAT method to map out one piece. This is your homework. This should be homework. This is your assignment. I understood the assignment, all right? So use the EAT method to map out one piece of content. That is my homework for you today for secret number 1. Even if you have not posted since the 99s and the 2000s, right? I want you to create one piece of content using the EAT method. This is Jeanette. This is one of my students in the program. She sold out her masterclass using the EAT method, and she started creating content for her audience, who she is an Ayurvedic yoga instructor, which every time I would talk to her, I'm like, I don't know how to say that word. But she started to create content that was around the EAT method. And she sent us a message in our group saying that she was able to pack out her recent masterclass with over 60 people who came. So super, super proud of Jeanette. So secret number 2, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're ready for secret number 2. One of my tricks, and y'all could take this, when I go live, I always say drop a 1 so I can drink some water. So drop a 1 in the chat if secret number 1 was helpful for you. I'm gonna take some water.
That was so helpful.
Okay, good. Awesome. It's so much better to have you here.
Well, it helps so much just not to be, that is the problem. You're like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur today. I'm going to post, I'm going to make content. And you sit down and you look at your phone and you probably see someone else's content before you get the chance to go post your own. And you're like, that was so good. What do I do? Like,
yeah. Her edges are way laid than mine. How am I about to show this? Yeah. I get it. You understand, right, Jeremy?
Yeah. So love it. I want to know secret number 2.
You're gonna love secret number 2. So secret number 2 is how to close more clients simply by being yourself in your content. Now, to be honest with you, you can do it if you activate the secret sauce, right? So most people think I gotta keep up with all the dancing, the outfit changes, the boom boom clap, the high level content, all the things, right? I gotta go buy a GoPro, I gotta go film at Tyler Perry Studios for some quality content, right? But here's what happened when you believe that. And we were just talking about that, Jonah. Your content begins to look and sound like somebody else. It's not true anymore, right? Here's what also happens when you believe that. You start to attract the clients that you don't want to work with, which has you stressed out and catering to people because you're not showing up in your essence, so you're not attracting who you're called to serve, right? So you end up getting exhausted by Instagram instead of having fun in your own essence. At the end of the day, here's another gem I'm dropping. People buy people. So the secret is you can sell out your services and offers if you activate the secret sauce, right? And how? Like where do you get the special sauce from? But at the end of the day, the secret sauce is within you. So let's take a look at my I.C.E method because a lot of times it just takes us getting out of our own head, right? So I.C.E method, the I stands for intention, the C stands for confidence, and the E stands for expertise. Drop a 1 in the comments if you ever get in your own head when it comes to getting ready to press publish, you got drafts in your folder, all the above, right? So intention, right? Being intentional about every single piece of content. Every single piece of content you create should be tied to a content goal. We're not just throwing stuff up there and hoping that it works for our audience. What's your intention behind that piece? And when you have that intention, you show up in that intention, right? The C is for confidence. Confidence in asking for the sale. Again, if we don't know what you do, if we don't know that you have a cake making company, if we don't know you sell bunion cream, if we don't know you're a masseuse, if we don't know any of those things, how are we going to sign up? How are we going to book you, right? So getting confident in asking for that sale. And E, your expertise, right? You are not new to this, right? Walking in this I.C.E method, you are not new to this. You are qualified for top dollars and you need to believe that, right? So when you are stepping into content, you step in with intention, confidence, and expertise, right? So let's stop saying the following, all right? Let's go ahead and shoot up the club, right? We're not saying this anymore. I got to do all the dances and present myself in the perfect light. Nope, you ain't got to do that. I don't know how to make this a high level production. You ain't got to do that either, friend. I'm not ready to put on this big performance. You know, like what if no one shows up for my IG lives? Please stop saying that. Instead, let me tell y'all, when I did my IG lives back in the day, my boyfriend at the time, that's why I graduated into husband, he would come over, I'd say, babe, come over. I need you to come to my apartment. I'm about to go live. He'd sit in the bedroom and he'd go on my live and be the one person in my live. So you got to make do with what you have, right? So instead, it's time to step into your blessings, right? Instead of saying those things, you're saying, I'm going to be me unapologetically, right? Again, everything I need, I already have. And what's meant for me won't pass me by. My clients are on the way. Drop in the chat, my clients are on the way if you believe that. If you receive that, they come in, they're called to you, the assignment is still the assignment, right? My clients are on the way, period, right? So let's recap, because I really think the I.C.E method is nothing to be missed. We're talking about content and showing up as you, as yourself. If you're not bubbly and energetic, you ain't gotta be bubbly and energetic. If you got an attitude and if that's your zhuzh, then that's your zhuzh. Have an attitude, sis. Like, Whatever is you, be that, right? So show up I.C.E, baby. That's it. Show up I.C.E. Show up with intention, show up with confidence, and show up in your expertise, right? Andrea says, my clients are on the way. Nina says, my clients are on the way. Teachable says, my clients are on the way. Yes, they are. Okay. So being you in your content is enough to sell your services. People will already be ready to buy from you simply by finding you on Instagram. You don't have to do anything extra. You ain't got to put on no bells and whistles. You ain't got nothing. Honestly, I'm telling you. This is Nia. She signed 3 4-figure clients within 30 days of my program and received more DMs from our ideal clients once we got to see the real Nia. When Nia was like, look at her little title for her live. It says, it's time to get raw. Like Nia was not playing. She didn't come. She came to snatch edges. She came to read you for filth. Like she was there. And this is what she put in our group. Just signed another 4-figure client. Trying to sign at least 4 more this month. I know I'm a crazy lady, only a few days left in the month, but I'm still in expectation. Another call later today, right? So proud of her. But I want to give you a fun fact. Nia closed those clients with under 1,000 followers, right? With less than 1,000 followers, she closed multiple 4-figure clients. So I want to go ahead and bust that myth that you have to have a K in front of that follower count. Like you do not have to have the 10K, the 15K. It's great for clout, right? It's great for a nice little partnership, but you do not have to have the K to sell, right? There are hundreds of people offering the same service that you are, but there are certain clients called to you and how you do things. So show them who you are, period. How to get consistent with your content. This is secret number 3. Drop a 1 in the chat. Jonah, let me know. How was secret number 2? Are you I.C.E?
I am I.C.E. I'm getting I.C.E. I'm frosted over. I'm into it.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Awesome.
No, I love those. You don't really hear about those success stories either, where it's like you don't have to have a million followers to be getting good clients, especially if you're getting high quality clients.
Right.
It's good to hear those stories too, because you could get caught up just being like, oh, I need this many followers before I'm worth anything. So
yeah, I'm not about that life.
I'm hearing it.
Yay! Nina said that she's ice cold. I'm here for all of it. Oh, awesome. So secret number 3, and I hear this all the time, and that's why it is a pillar in our framework, is consistency, right? So how to get consistent with your content without having to post multiple times a day, right? Most people think posting multiple times a day will attract your ideal clients. And disclaimer, I'm not saying that you won't grow posting multiple times a day. I'm not saying you won't have a bigger reach or you won't post clients. I'm saying that is not my ministry to post multiple times a day. It's not in me. I ain't got the energy, the time, the team, nothing. All right. If you want to do it, that's your business, friend. Okay. So most people think you need to dedicate multiple hours per day to create. And when you do that, right, you spend all this time and then you only post 1 piece of content. Drop a 1 if that's you. If you've ever just spent hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, you got 1 piece of content and then it probably never goes up, right? Most people think the algorithm hates me. Like I said, it don't. Here's what happens though when you believe those things, right? You get so into your head that you end up posting sporadically. And that in turn diminishes your credibility, right? I'm going to show you a point proven right here. I don't know who this girl is, but she on my Instagram, right? And this is me in my mirror doing a felt cute, might delete later. What does that have to do with my business? What's going on? What am I selling? Not myself, because my husband would kill me, right? What is this, right? And so when you do these posts just to post, you confuse your audience. And then you get them on a sales call. They finally show up. Maybe your smile captivated them. Maybe you posted a nice candle, whatever the case is. And they get on a call with you and they have no idea what you do. So then they take that 15-minute discovery call. They take that 15-minute sales call. They hop on that, that breakthrough call, that free call, and they get on and they're like, hey, Jonah, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to chat with you. So what do you do? That happens. It sucks, right? And so you confuse your audience if you're not being clear on the content that you're posting consistently. Or maybe you finally muster up the courage to go live on a random day. It's Wednesday, time to show up, I'm cute, and you pitch your offers and nobody buys, right? There was no consistency prior. There was no plugging your live prior. There was no hopping in your stories prior. And everyone no one buys because they're like, who are you, sis? Right? So here's another gem I'm dropping. It's not about posting just to post, right? It's about getting consistent to build authority, audience, and income. That's what your consistency will build, right? So the secret is, hey, braids, you can get consistent with your content when you plan ahead, right? So this is what happened when I got consistent, and I have to change that first stat, but it says community growth of 30,000 in 5 months. It's actually 40,000 in 5 months. And the last 15K came in the last 30 days, right? I sold out my group coaching program. Daily, my DMs are in shambles, from inbound DMs, from ideal clients inquiring about my services. I think this is so important. I have a schedule and a frequency that feels comfortable and aligned with how I want to show up, right? There's no pressure. There's no every single day. I gotta just put myself, nothing. I'm comfortable with how I'm showing up online. And even when I've gotten consistent, I've had paid partnerships with brands that align with me, right? Kim says, I need consistency, right? Did I need a big production or fancy equipment to do so? No. Did I need to block out 24 hours a week to create? No, I just stand in front of my little window and put my phone up and do what I gotta do, right? I planned, I committed, and I implemented, right? So there's only one way to ensure that your content is created consistently, I should underline that, with intention by you, right? And so that is my strategy right here. Commit, plan, and implement, right? So when I say commit, I put that like the tiny tip, right? Because it's a small action, but it's a big deal. And that's what you have to start with doing. Making the commitment to show up, right? Making the commitment to yourself and your business to show up consistently, right? So I want you guys to commit right now. Drop a 1 in the chat, or I commit in the chat, whatever it is that you're making the commitment today, right now, on this live or in the replay, that you're making the commitment to yourself and your business to show up consistently, right? That's the big part. That's the icing, right? The plan in the middle, right, is planning the frequency in which you desire to show up online and what is realistic to you, right? Are you a busy parent? Are you a 9-to-5er with your side hustle? Are you doing 2 jobs? Are you a wife? This is hard, y'all. Like, what? I understand life is busy, right? So planning ahead in the frequency in which you desire to show up online and what's realistic. So there's no wrong answer to this question, but how many days a week, 1 to 7, because there's 7 days, but you can say 0 if you feel called to, do you desire to show up online? How many days? 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day, 7 day? How many days a week feels comfortable and realistic for you to show up online, right? Mine is about 5, maybe 6. It depends on, what I got going on, how I'm feeling, time of the month, all the things, all of those are factors, right? How many days a week do you desire to show up online? Kim says 7. Nina says 4. Ruth says 1. Anybody else? How many days are you going to commit to show up online, right? Then the next thing in our little pyramid, our commit, plan, implement, right, is designating creative time for your business to ensure your content is completed and published, right? So we can plan all we want. I want 5 days. Me too, sis. We could do all that, right? And then when the implement comes around and we haven't seen you since March, what's the problem, right? Because we're not implementing, right? So the way that I teach my students is to have a creative flow day, right? Same day, same time, once a week, block it off on your calendar and you create, right? Mine is on Sundays from 4 to 6, right? So I want you to be realistic and let me know in the comments, how much time will you set aside every week to create? Because once you start to create, and I think a lot of people don't do this because they haven't quite seen the return on investment in their content, right? They haven't seen the return on the hours that they spent. They haven't seen the reel go viral, which I don't even get me started there. They haven't seen someone DM them about their services. So that return on investment isn't seen, so you stop spending time on it. But I'm here to tell you, if you get consistent, right, that return is going to be bananas. And that time that you think you should be spending, it's going to increase exponentially. And as that increases, you're going to get to a point where you're going to be so much faster. You're going to be so much faster at creating. It's not going to take you 2 hours to do a reel. It used to take me 2 hours, y'all, a confession, right? But now it's I could do like 5 in 1 hour, right? as you continue to get consistent, it's that muscle, that creation, that creativity that's there for you. So let's recap. Yeah, it can be every day. You feel most creative at late night when my family is sleeping. That sounds like some creativity time when they all just knocked out. Yes, have your time. Get your little drink of choice, tea, wine, tequila, whatever it is, Nina, and yeah, do it. So let's recap. This is the 3C framework. We have clarity, we have your content, and we have your consistency, right? So we just went through consistency. And here's another gem we're dropping today. It's not about posting just to post, right? It's about getting consistent to build authority, audience, and income, right? So remember, you don't need to post 3 times a day to sell. If you want to, that's your business. You do not need to dedicate multiple hours a day to sell your offers. You don't. And it's hard for me to talk about this and tell you guys this, but you don't have to bribe the algorithm with candy to like you. Like, you don't. I think he's vegan anyway. I don't even know what he is, but you ain't got to do that, okay? So you just have to commit, plan, and implement. Making the commitment to yourself and your business, planning the frequency, and designating creative time for your business, right? Commit, plan, and implement. And to be honest with you, some accountability goes a long way too, right? So this was secret number 3. Get consistent with your content by being intentional with your time. So this is Tiffany. I told you guys about her earlier. She was my first and only student when I launched my group coaching program. I love her. Like, I FaceTime her to this day. Like, I have a weird you obsession with my clients and my students. Please don't publish that, Jonah. If you can cut that out, I'd appreciate it. But I love my students, bottom line, right? And so when she first started, she had 83 followers, and she's grown that to over 17,000 and has launched several offers in the health and wellness space. And I talk about Tiffany because she's not a content creator. She's not an influencer. She's not, I don't know, she's a nurse practitioner who has a message and who wants to heal women, right? And her growth started with a reel that went viral on Instagram, and then it went crazy on TikTok, talking about vitamin deficiency, right? Not talking about anything crazy, well, not crazy, but like trendy. She wasn't literally talking about vitamin deficiency because people need your story, your knowledge, your expertise, all the above. So quick check-in, right? Have y'all gotten some gems today, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if that's you. Jonah, I want to check in and see how you're feeling, and I don't know.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. You're first off, I just love your energy and everything. You make everything seem possible.
Oh,
You make
good.
it all seem possible.
It
But
is.
it's so easy to get caught up just like, there's a million people out there telling you how you're gonna do it. But I love when it can be just you, and it's
Yeah,
just you, and it's how much do you want to do it? How much can you do it? And
yeah.
then you can still do it. You
Mhm.
don't have to be what did you say about the algorithm?
Oh, bribing it with candy that it's vegan anyway. I don't know, yeah, it's not a person. It's like an Alexa. It don't eat nothing. It just probably drink air. Like, there's
And
no.
it's changing all the time too, so you just can't keep up. Yeah.
I agree.
So, so are we ready to I'm so curious. Are we ready to talk about your course a little bit before I know we're gonna go into Q&A here?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
So
definitely.
for everyone watching, please, you can start dropping questions in the chat. I know Jordan's done a really good job of answering a few, but we're going to have a proper Q&A. But I did just want to ask, you're already giving us so much value here and just making it seem so much more possible. Like, what do you cover in your course? Let's dive into it a little bit.
Yeah. It's CCA is my group coaching program, and it is for female entrepreneurs ready to create profitable content. So I have a few more slides. If that's okay with you guys, put a yes in the chat if you're interested in hearing. I always get so excited, but I'm like, do people even want to hear about CCA?
Yes.
It's like
Yes, we
why
do.
do it? Okay, good. Okay, cool. So again, we talked about profitable content, clarity, content, and consistency. This is your homework assignment, right? Create an heat map so that you can have endless content ideas to sell your services. Get I.C.E, okay, and be your authentic self in all of the content that you post, and don't be afraid to ask for the sale. And then last but not least is get consistent with your content by planning ahead, closing clients with ease, because that's what happens. You close clients with ease when they trust you. It's a game changer, right? And last but not least, remember your content without the special sauce is about to taste bland AF, okay? Attracting all the wrong customers. Look at Michelle, she said, ew. Like that's how your content gonna make people feel if you are not yourself, okay? Okay, so what if you create a game plan to close more clients next month like Nia? So creating, again, this is your homework, creating your unique content, tapping into your inner ice queen and getting consistent with your content. Would that be a game changer for your business? I think so. I've seen it happen, right? What if I helped you, right? So if you want to know, I saw Nia already say yes. So what I have is a step-by-step framework and hands-on accountability for creating profitable content to grow your audience, authority, and increase your income in 90 days or less. You can also work with me, a content strategist and a video expert who helps Tiffany, my nurse practitioner, with 83 followers, create several streams of income and grow her following to over 17K, right? And you're going to close more clients in your business every month and create profitable content with ease without spending hours or posting 3 times a day, right? So this is Jonah, the Courageous Content Academy. This is my academy, creating profitable content to sell your offers while growing your audience and influence in 90 days or less. So CCA is all about helping you make more money, simply getting consistent and being yourself, helping you cultivate a community, right? Because we're focusing on the community, not the count of followers, right? Ready to buy your offers without getting overwhelmed with social media or making it a huge production. So who wants to see? I want to see, so I'm gonna keep going, right?
I want to see.
Okay, good. Okay, so part 1 is the curriculum, proven framework, video lessons. You have plug and play content and resources to create that profitable content. So these are our modules. We have clarity, of course. We have content, of course, and we have consistency. And we recently are adding a new module called cash flow. So again, somewhere earlier, I think it was Nina said she want to go where the money resides, and that's where cash flow is. We're talking about repurpose, taking one IG live and turning it into endless pieces of content and asking for the sale. How are you doing that? How are you doing it and not sounding like a used car salesman? How are you doing it and being confident in the way that you are asking for the sale in your business, right? These are a few of my client wins in the program. Chioma says, I just signed my first 4-figure client and she's paid in full. She was almost a 5-figure client, but I got scared and gave her a discount, so I played myself. I cracked up. And she said, this is still a major win for me. I'm about to get CCA tattooed on my neck. I said, please don't. Please don't. But go ahead. But she was really happy about that win. So part 2 is the community in this program, right? So it's filled with incredible women conquering their content goals. I love the community because it's a safe space for you to practice your lives. So before you go live on Instagram, you have a community of women there to hype you up. I'm there giving you feedback. And we also have monthly content co-working sessions. So once a month, we actually have a creative flow hour for our CCA students, which I'm obsessed with, right? And so here's one of comments that one of my students said to another student, not to me. She said to the student, I just want to hop on here and let you know that you are killing it with your launch phase. I'm learning so much from you. So that's the type of encouragement that happens within our community. And then last but not least, which is the kicker, is the coaching, right? So we have bi-weekly live coaching calls with me. So every other week we gather, you guys submit your questions and I answer them live feedback. I also keep you abreast of the new updates because Instagram is wild and the algorithm be changing. So I really try to keep you guys in the know of what that growth looks like, right? So this is Isabel. She's one of my CCA students. She had the biggest fear of going live. Her energy is like, do y'all think my energy is like, whoa? Isabel's energy is like, I'm obsessed with her. So she wanted to face that fear of going live. And it's crazy to think that with all that energy, she was scared to go live, in addition to book more speaking engagements. And she said, I'm going live for the first time today at 5 p.m. And she practiced first in our group, and then she went live, right? And the results were she got a digital magazine feature. She now has a consistent live video series. And she just told me this, so I just added this. She just booked her first 3 coaching clients.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. Like, if you guys, she's amazing. And she helps people overcome fashion addiction. She paid off over $100,000 in debt. And so she helps other people do the same. So she's really cool.
Wow.
Stephanie is a mindfulness and DEI coach. She wanted to clearly communicate what she does and establish her online expertise and book more corporate contracts. So she's more so in that corporate space. And so her results was she got better engagement. She was offered a contract to teach at a 6th grade all-girls school, right? And she said she's really grateful for the community. But then she messaged us a few weeks later and she landed another big client. And so she hit 2 clients that week who want her to send them an invoice tomorrow. So, oh, hey, Denise, that's one of my clients. That's how obsessed I am with them. Oh goodness, there's Fran. She wanted to create content for group coaching. And she also had a program launch happening. So she wanted to grow her audience and establish her expertise. Her results: packed out wait list, 3 enrollments within 24 hours, growth of 200 people in her community in 1 week. And she now has a weekly Instagram live series and she kills it every single time. So this program was created for, like I said, female entrepreneurs or coaches, consultants, service providers who are determined to grow their audience and authority on Instagram. So you probably have an Instagram page and you desire to sell your services. Maybe you have an existing offer, right? Oh, your clients are on the way, let's go. Coaching, one-on-one, group, digital downloads, all the things. And P.S., I really have a heart for recovering perfectionists. Guilty, like I still work through it on the daily. Like, y'all don't even know. I don't know how my husband's still here. You understand? It's not a game. Perfectionism is not a game, and you have to push through. Because again, there's somebody tied to your story. So your price today for CCA is $19.97 or 6 payments of $397. The link to join will be in the chat, but I was feeling a little generous. And if you're still here and you're a fast action taker, right? I have a masterclass special exclusively for Teachable, right? So I'm trying to have you looking like her, basically, with the money. So for the next 48 hours, we're actually doing a 25% off the Courageous Content Academy. So the pay in full is $14.98, or you can do 6 payments. You can get started today for $2.98 for the next 48 hours only. I'll be generous, but Teachable kind of, twist my arm a little bit. And I was like, okay, friend, I got y'all. We're gonna make it happen, right? So these are my thoughts. When you see that price reveal, I was like, really, ma'am? Okay, so that's how I'm feeling. I hope y'all are feeling that way as well. I just want to show you guys a couple more people because I know I showed you a few coaches, but this is actually an agency owner, Natasha. She never wanted to show up live. I don't actually think she has just yet. She just started putting out content about what she does, and nobody knew what she was doing, right? And so she's saying, every day I'm waking up to new inquiries in my DMs since I've been using the CCA framework. I'm super excited, right? Ananya is actually a success coach in my program. So she was in CCA, but now she helps our students within the program because she's amazing. She's a burnout and breakthrough coach, and she wanted more visibility. So she started showing up live, and she's closing by going live. She's closing and connecting with her audience. Create, convert, connect, convert. And that's what she's doing. Last but not least, this is Maya. She's a hairstylist, right? So not a coach, not a consultant. She is a hairstylist and extension specialist. And this is someone who showed up unapologetically as herself. So she goes live, she does her client's hair going live, she sits down and gives some self-care tips, all the things. And this is something she posted in the group for clients this week. Thanks, Jourdan. I was actually on her live, was it last week? And I don't know why my students do this. Whenever I hop on their lives, they start to freak out. They're like, oh my gosh, my coach Jourdan's here. Hey, Jourdan. And you can tell that they're still a little nervous. I love it. But Maya had said that she's been getting at least 5 to 10 new inquiries to be in her chair every week. And we worked together in, I think, February or March. So that momentum is still there, which is insane. So just again, think about that memory lane of hitting consistent 5-figure months in your business. Think about tripling your audience growth in under a year. That was me. How fast could you do that? And how many more clients could you be booking every month by following this framework? What if you got started today? We have additional bonuses in here. We have a simple video startup. We have the rules of engagement in here. We have a pay in full bonus with a live session with me. And what I just added recently, Jonah, is a call to actions menu. So you have all the call to actions that I've used in my content to help you take yours to the next level, in addition to a Reels guide as well. So bottom line, CCA is truly about helping you walk courageously in the content that you're creating and show up consistently for your audience to make an impact and share your gifts, because at the end of the day, there's somebody tied to your testimony, right? So stop imagining and start creating the business of your dreams, because likes don't pay the bills, okay? So I don't really have to go through this of what makes this different. Your options are to continue doing content solo, creating content that gets zero engagement, maybe watch another quarter fly by with the same community and no new prospects. Or you can join me and my girls in CCA. I'm obsessed with them. And like I said, we have that teachable price today and for the next 48 hours for $14.98 or 3 monthly payments of $298. So yeah, thank you.
Hey. Thank you so much, Jourdan. And if everyone watching, please hop in the comments. Thank Jourdan for her time and her energy and just making all of it seem more realistic and more like it fits into your life, and you don't just have to sell your like self to the matrix just to
I almost heard soul, but that's what happens.
yeah, it feels that way. Yeah. So drop any questions you still have in the comments. We have Jourdan for just a little bit longer. I know, Jourdan, I wanted to ask this question just because it's so fun to see. Like, when did you make the choice? Because I'm sure you were just making content and trapped in all these things you've broken free of. But like, when and how exactly do you remember the moment when you made the choice that just like I'm gotta switch this up?
Yeah.
I gotta do this differently.
There were a few moments, because I think the first moment was just the biggest moment was booking my first client from social. I think that was like the first like I gotta do this, right? And I started again having fun with the idea of creating content and showing up for my audience. But as I said, you have a year access to CCA because life happens, right? And in February, I was planning my wedding to get married to that man. But I also lost my mom unexpectedly during that time. And I literally was off the grid for a good, understandably so,
Yes, you
3 or
would be,
4
yeah.
weeks, right? And I remember I had just hit 10K, and I remember kind of disappearing for a little bit and coming back to my like audience and my community. And they were so like, oh my gosh, like, we miss you. And I was like, that's it. Like, they saw me showing up. They saw me creating content. They're finding value. Like, these people are tied to me. They're tied to my story. They're tied to my testimony, all the above. So I kind of started to kick it in gear after that and really get even more serious about the way that I was showing up and leaning into what was already working for my business. And yeah, I mean, I hit my 6 figures 3 months later, and it's been insane.
Yeah, that's wild. Well, and I love hearing that too. As a musician, I went through years of not enjoying doing the thing I was supposed to be loving and doing. And when you get to that point where it's like, well, if I'm not having fun doing this, what am I building? So what am I doing? But I do want to we got a couple questions in the comments here. Ray is asking, I've been posting content I create on Canva. Are Reels and going live absolutely necessary?
Yeah, 1,000%. Reels and going live are, if you have not caught the wave of video content being queen of it all, from TikTok to Instagram, pushing Reels to them now getting rid of Instagram Live, turning it into Instagram video, to LinkedIn doing stories and doing lives, YouTube's doing lives, Facebook did stories and lives. Now they're trying out Reels.
Everyone's chasing TikTok.
Yes, everyone wants to be the TikToker. Not me, I'm not doing that. But you'll see all the platforms begin to follow suit, right? And if you are not And it's not even a trend, it's a necessity for it's your virtual handshake. This video content right here is you experiencing me in real time. And there's only so much we can get from a Canva graphic, a carousel, a photo of you. There's an energy exchange that has to happen. And that's where that trust starts to come out of. So yes is the short answer. Do it all.
But it sounds also like the way you're presenting it too, though, is like also though, don't be intimidated by these people dancing or this. Like it just means you have to show up.
100%. I'm pointing queen, Jonah. These are my reels. Dump, dump, a dump, a dump. That's it. That's all I do. That's all I do. I'm dancing. No, not doing it.
Well, and this is kind of a good follow-up question here. Just like, do these ideas work for other social sites like LinkedIn or Facebook? And you kind of answered that just by saying video is queen, but like, is what you're teaching in the course and what you teach in your own material, is it specific only to Instagram, or are these things working elsewhere?
Yeah, so it's definitely Instagram focused, but a lot of my students take what we learn in CCA and apply it to other platforms because it's the principle, right? You know, there's not reels on Instagram, but there's, I don't know if Facebook's calling them reels, but TikTok is the same. It's short form content. So if we look at Tiffany, the nurse practitioner, she took what she learned in CCA and went to TikTok. And her videos, I tried, but again, it's not my ministry. But you can take those things. You just have to know the platform and know who you're speaking to on each platform. So your audience on Facebook might be a little bit different than your audience on Instagram, right? So just really getting in tune and getting the pulse of that audience is super, super, super important. But yeah, you can take this across the board for sure.
Right. So there's parameters that'll change, but you're still gonna have good video content.
I'm
right?
not posting on LinkedIn.
No way.
Like I'm not doing that on LinkedIn. I'm not.
But there is some play, right? Like if you're making on TikTok or if you're making on Instagram, you might have to figure out a couple kinks, but you're not left alone with this one. Yeah.
Repurpose it. Take that short form little thing that you do and make it into a long form on LinkedIn, or do something long on Facebook in a Facebook group. Like literally, yes, you can do all the things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to call out Nina here, who, first off, thank you, Nina. You've been a joy in the chat, but just
active.
I love this, Jourdan. Very different from the free courses I've taken and more valuable than most of the paid courses I've taken.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And we do have to wrap up just for time's sake, but thank you so much. Thank you for your energy, your knowledge, and also all the time you've put into just making this like palatable. It's not like it's not like it's getting just thrown down my throat. It's like, oh, I can do all of this. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah. And I can be me when I do it. No way.
100%.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And for everyone watching too, please just hop in the comments. Let Nina know, or sorry, I just said Nina. You can appreciate Nina too. Let Jourdan appreciate Nina, appreciate Jourdan, appreciate everybody. But let Jourdan know how much you appreciate her time and her knowledge and her energy. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the Discover channel, where we are trying to bring more creators like Jourdan out to share and grow this beautiful community of creators and learning folks. Before we wrap up, I do want to ask you one more question, just to kind of leave us on a note.
Sure.
If like people who are here, they've all shown up, they have a social media account, they've been trying, but they're like, I need to step up and start learning. But I know every day, and I know taking courses can stuff and help, but just like if you have a little nugget, I know every day you can be like, I'm gonna do something today, and it can be so, that moment when you open the app and you're just immediately discouraged for whatever reason, because it can just be daunting. Do you have any last little parting advice for like just how to blow through that hump if it's just a bad day, or it's
I think my piece of advice is somebody waiting to hear your story. So the longer that it sits inside, the longer that you delay it, the longer that you go in and go out, the longer that you hold it in, is one more day she sits and waits for you to tell your story. It's one more
Mm.
day he waits and sits and doesn't learn what you have to teach, right? So I think it's coming from a place, and I've started to say this often, I just have to figure out how to define it, but coming from a place of social serving and knowing that you are called to serve. And I think that makes it a little bit better, because you start to think, if I'm not talking, if I'm not showing up, it's a little bit of selfishness, right? Because I'm keeping somebody from their breakthrough,
Uh,
right? I have that. So yeah, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
yeah, I love that way of looking at it too. Yeah, because we all have something to give, but I that is such a beautiful flip, because so often social media can feel like you're taking people's time.
Mhm, 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 mhm,
And so
mhm.
I love thinking
Yeah,
about it like, no, it raises the bar too, but in a way you can meet up to. Like, let's give something valuable to
yeah,
people.
yeah,
Let's make I love
100%.
that.
Oh, good. That makes me
Ah,
happy.
Jordan, thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah,
everyone for watching.
yeah,
Hope to have you back again soon.
yeah. Thank
And
you so much for having me.
yeah, we'll talk to y'all soon. Have a
Awesome.
wonderful day, everybody.
Bye, guys.